Hare Krishna, by the blessings of Shri Shri Radha Madan Gopal, Shri Shri Lalita Vishakha Sakhi, Shri Shri Gaurnitai, Srila Prabhupada and Shri Gurudev. I am here with a new short poem. The short poem is based on srimadbhagavatam 6, Canto 16th chapter, verse number 26. So first I will read the short poem. Unless we don't understand material world's falsity, we will not experience spiritual world's reality. So unless we don't understand material world's falsity, we will not experience spiritual world's reality. So this is written on the pastime of Chitraketu Maharaj. So I will now read the verse and the translation. So verse is as follows. Bhaktya etam prapannaya vidyam adishya narada yaya angirasa sakam dhama swayambhuvam prabho. So this is 16th verse. Sri Shukdev Goswami continued, Narada having become the spiritual master of Chitraketu, instructed him fully in this prayer because Chitraketu was fully surrendered. O King Parikshit, Narada then left with great sage Angira for the topmost planet known as Brahmaloka. Purport. When Angira had first come to visit Chitraketu, he did not bring Narada with him. However, after the death of Chitraketu's son, Angira brought Narada to instruct King Chitraketu about Bhakti Yoga. The difference was that in the beginning Chitraketu was not in temperament of renunciation, but after the death of his son, when he was overwhelmed by the great plight, he was awakened to the platform of renunciation by the instructions regarding the falsity of material world and material possession. It is the only in this stage of Bhakti Yoga can be instructed as long as one is attached to the material enjoyment. Bhakti Yoga cannot be understood. This is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita. भोगैश्वर्य प्रसक्तानां तया प्रतिचेतसां व्यवसायित्मका बुद्धि समाधो न विधीयते. So purport is quite long. We'll stop here. So in the minds of those who are too attached to the sense enjoyment and material opulence and who are bewildered by such things, the resolute determination of devotional service to the Supreme Lord does not take place. As long as one is very much attached to material enjoyment, one cannot concentrate his mind on the subject matter of devotional service. Hare Krishna. So here word comes falsity. He was awakened to the platform of renunciation by the instructions regarding the falsity of material world and material possession. So Krishna in Bhagavad Gita says, Dukhale Ashashvatam. Ashashvatam means the false. The material mind or material intelligence take this material world as a reality, but actually this is not the reality. The reality is somewhere else. The reality exists in only spiritual world. So unless we get frustrated or we come to know that this material world is false, then only we can understand the reality of spiritual world. So conditioned soul, thinking that this material world is real, he pursues happiness with great efforts. He runs behind to achieve some material success, material happiness, and at the last everything is taken away, and he becomes a pony. Means he doesn't have anything at the end of his life. So that's why Krishna says that why to run behind such material possessions. Better that one should give up the material possession for the sake of understanding spiritual reality. So in this pastime of Chitraketu Maharaj was the king of the earth, and he was having so many wives, but he didn't had any son. So when Angira Muni first came to his palace, he was very much disturbed because of not having any and not having the son who will continue his kingdom after his death. So he was very lamenting. That's why Angira Muni fulfilled his desires, and by the blessings of Angira Muni, he got the son. And Angira Muni told that you should keep the name of son as Harsha Shoka. Harsha means happiness, Shoka means lamentation. So this boy will bring you the harsha, happiness, and also distress, lamentation. So he didn't understood the meaning behind this, and he continued his life. The king had the son from his first wife named Kritaditi, and after having the son from Kritaditi, he was very much attached to the child and to his first wife Kritaditi, and the co-wives, they become very envious of Kritaduti, and one day they fed poison to this little child who was just a toddler or small children. So due to feeding the poison boy, the little boy died, and the king was lamenting, and the Krutaditi also and rest of the queens, they were just pretending they are very much aggrieved because of the loss of the son of the king. So at that time Angira Muni comes along with Narad Muni, and Narad Muni is by his power Siddhi, he invite the soul of that died boy in the body of this in the dead body, and the boy uh, started to speak to the Narad Muni and all assembled there, the king and the rest queens. And he tells some philosophical information that I am not the son of this king, I am the spirit soul. Nobody here is anyone's father and anyone's mother. So, like he speaks the philosophy, and after some time, the soul leaves the body and goes for the next destination. Because of this, the material bondage of the king gets slackened, and he comes to the real knowledge that in this material world there is nothing real things. All is temporary. This material body is temporary. Material world is temporary. My position as a king is also temporary. So he offers respect to the Narad Muni and Angira Muni because they enlightened him, and he gives up the kingdom and practice sadhana and get the darshan of Anantadev. So because he understood the falsity of this material world, he could see Lord Anantadev in the Garbhodakshaya ocean. So unless we understand the falsity of this material world, we can't understand or experience the reality of spiritual world. We have to give up this falsity to realize the ultimate reality of the spiritual world. That's why the spiritual authorities or the guru, they don't take this material world very seriously, because they know that at the end everyone will be lamenting because of whatever material success, designation, awards one person gets. Whatever material desires fulfill, the more we fulfill our material desires, the more lamentation will come upon us. And also there is a story in Bhagavad Mahatmya about the Dhundukari and Gokarna. So there was one Brahman named Atmadeva. He was living with his wife, whose name was Dhunduli. So this Atmadev, he didn't had any son, just like Chitraketu Maharaj, he also didn't had any son, and he was very much troubled by that, and he was very always lamenting, I don't have son. So once he went in a jungle to commit suicide. Before committing a suicide, he happened to see one sage in nearby lake, and he visited that sage and told his life story. He spoke about his lamentation, and he requested the sage, please give me a son so that I will become happy in my life. But the sage in the question replied that why you want son? It is better you don't have son so that you can't be entangled in material world. Better practice spirituality and go back home, back to Godhead. But the Atmadev Brahmana was so much insisting that please give me son, please give me son. So the sannyasi, the sadhu, gave one fruit to Atmadeva and told that please give to your wife, then by eating this fruit she will become pregnant. And when Atmadev goes to his wife and told that I have this blessing in the form of fruit, please eat this fruit and we will have a son. But the Dhunduli, she was not very anxious about having son. In contrary, she was opposite, that why should I have become pregnant? There was so much suffering to become a pregnant. So that's why she gave the fruit to the cow and cow became pregnant. And she managed her sister. Her sister was also pregnant. She managed and pretended that she is pregnant, and she brought the sister's son as her own son, and Atmadev didn't know about this. And the child was grown up. Her name was Dhundukari, and he was very gunda guy. Gunda means he was very he was just like a robber, a thief, not a good person. He was always fighting with others. And because of this, by seeing the character of his son, Atmadev left his house in Agani and he performed some spiritual practices. He practiced devotional service and went back home, back to Godhead. So we see that the sannyasi, the sadhu, told Atmadev that better not to have son, but he was not interested in listening the advice of the sadhu. Say, मैं चित्रकेतु महाराज. So whatever material blessings we ask from anyone, from Krishna or any demigod or from sadhu, that will eventually be the cause of our suffering. And if not suffering, we will be attached to that blessings and we will not realize the spiritual world. They will become the stumbling blocks on our path of spiritual journey. That's why Kunti Devi in her praise, she tells to Lord Krishna that please cut my all relationship with my parents' side and from my husband's side. Why? Because I will not able to go ahead to understand spiritual world's reality. So this is the lesson, that we should not ask any material benefit, material blessings, because we will not understand the spiritual world's reality. So there is one story, there are two stories regarding Prabhupada. So Prabhupada was traveling from Chennai to Nellore, and the train was stopped at one station, and one man was Indian who just broke through the or entered in the Prabhupada's compartment, and he was very insisting, Prabhupada, Swamiji, please give me blessing, please give me blessings. So Prabhupada was not happy about the presence of this man, but Prabhupada told that I bless you that all your material life will be finished. So what Prabhupada told that, so man was insisting, following Prabhupada, Swamiji, please give me your blessings. Prabhupada said, I bless you that your material life is finished. And the person literally felt at the floor and started crying and begging, not that blessing, Swamiji, not that kind of blessing. He said, no, I have already blessed you. So Prabhupada blessed him that all your material life should be finished. So Prabhupada knew that because of this material life only, the soul is staying here, he is not going back home, back to Godhead. That's why the sadhu means cut. The sadhu will never give any material blessings to anyone. He will always give the spiritual blessings by which we can understand the reality of spiritual world and falsity of this material world. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So we will meet tomorrow with new short poem. Hare Krishna, srimadbhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Radha Madan Gopal ki jai. Hare Krishna.